Hello, 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 boys and girls. Welcome to Story Time. So I am Andra Annette, and I'm going to read a story with you today. So won't you come and join me? So today we are going to be reading from The Owl Without a Tree. So sometimes in people's lives, they go through some hard times, but it doesn't make them a bad person or a good person. It just means they're going through a hard time. And sometimes they need our help to be understanding and compassionate and just be a good friend. So today we're going to read a little bit about what happened to the owl without a tree. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed writing it for you. Okay. So hang on. I'm going to share the screen so you can also see. You can also see the book. Oh, I'm in Calendly. I don't want to be in Calendly. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Sorry, guys. It's a little persnickety sometimes. Okay, so here we are. We're going to move this down. So this is a note from the author. Dear reader, sometimes life doesn't go the way we hoped. A storm comes, a door closes, a home is lost. And we begin to wonder if something is wrong with us. But hear this, you are not your misfortune. You are not what you've lost. You're not broken. You are worthy of love, of shelter, of second chances, of soft places to land. This story is for anyone who's ever felt out of place. And everyone learning that being cared for is not a weakness, it's part of being whole. Welcome to the forest. You belong here. With love, Andra, Annette. So we're going to head into chapter 1, okay? The tallest tree in the forest. In the very heart of Fernwood Forest stood a tree, so tall it tickled the clouds. Its branches stretched wide like arms, ready for a hug, and its trunk was wrapped in soft green moss and curling vines. That tree belonged to Olwyn the owl. Olwyn wasn't just any owl. He was the wisest in the woods. He knew the names of every flower, the phases of the moon, and which mushrooms not to eat. Animals from all corners of the forest came to Olwyn when they had big feelings or small questions. Olwyn, how do you know if you're brave? Olwyn, why does my heart feel heavy today? Olwyn, where did the stars go during the day? And Olwyn always had an answer. Softly spoken wings folded neatly, eyes warm with thought. But it wasn't just his wisdom that made animals respect him. It was his home. Olwyn's tree was his pride. Every morning he swept the fallen leaves from his porch with a twig broom made from birch bristles. He dusted the windows carved into the bark with downy feathers. His bookshelf, made from curled bark and acorn caps, gleamed with polish. Even his doormat, woven from pine needles, was always perfectly straight. Look out, Olwyn's nest, the chipmunk would whisper. So tidy, said the rabbit. So tall, marveled the deer. So perfect, sighed a little sparrow, trying to smooth her own messy feathers. Olwyn would give a modest hoot and say, a home should reflect the heart. And my heart, like things, just so. Truth be told, he felt safest in the tree, in that tree. It had watched him grow, had held his thoughts, had cradled his dreams through countless seasons. The wind whispered to him through its branches. The stars blinked at him from its top. And every night, from the highest branch, Olwyn looked out over the forest like a lighthouse keeper, over the sea, calm, steady, watching. He never imagined a day where that tree wouldn't be there. But Fernwood was full of surprises, and not all of them were gentle. Still, in the deepest part of Olwyn's wise old heart, there lived a quiet truth he hadn't yet noticed. A tree may be made of bark and leaves, but a home is something more. So we're heading into chapter two. This is the fall. So the storm came without warning. At first, it was only a hush of wind through the leaves. Then the hush grew into a growl, and the growl became a roar. Trees bent, branches shook, and thunder clapped like great paws in the sky. Olwyn stayed nestled in his tree, blinking at the lightning with calm, practicing eyes. He had weathered many storms before, but this storm was different. A bolt of lightning struck the far ridge. Rain poured in sheets. The wind howled wild and twisting. It tugged at Olwen's windows. It rattled the trunk. The tree groaned beneath him, a sound he had never heard before, a deep, sorrowful creak from its very roots. Can you see him hanging on for dear life there? Then came the sound that split the night in two. Crack! Olwen's eyes widened. His feathers bristled. The ground trembled beneath the tree. In a blur of instinct, he spread his wings and leapt into the stormy sky, the rain blinding, the wind shoving him sideways. Behind him, with a shuddering crash that echoed across Fernwood, the tallest tree in the forest fell. When the sun rose, golden and soft as butter, Fernwood looked like it had been holding its breath. Olwyn circled above his home once, twice, three times. He didn't want to land. Where the great tree had stood was now a jagged stump, splinters pointing skyward like broken bones. Bits of bark, twigs, and feathers were scattered everywhere. His books, his little twig broom, his spine needle mat, gone. He landed gently on the stump. Silence. No porch to sweep, no shelves to polish, no window to dust. Just the open sky and the ache in his chest. He did not cry. Olwyn the Wise did not cry. Instead, he fluffed his feathers, turned his back on the stump, and guided into the trees. Somewhere deep where the light was low and the moss was soft, he would find a place to hide, not to rest, not really, just not to be seen. Because in all the years of offering answers, Olwyn had never learned how to ask for help. And now, without his tree, he wasn't sure who he was anymore. Can you see all the other animals come by and they see what happened the next day? The lonely nest. Olwyn flew until the forest changed. The tall trees became tangled thickets. The sunlight barely touched the ground. It smelled of wet leaves and forgotten paths. This was the part of Fernwood few ever wandered, the quiet part, the hidden part. He found a hollow log, crooked and damp, with mushrooms growing along its edges. He tucked himself inside and folded his wings around him like a cloak. It wasn't home. The ground was cold, the bark scratched his feathers, the wind still found him, but it was away, and that was enough. He didn't sleep much. When he did, he dreamed of branches breaking and books tumbling and windows flying through the air. He dreamed of animals coming to ask questions, but this time he had no answers. And when he woke alone in the log, he didn't feel wise at all. He felt small. Days passed, or maybe more. Olwyn didn't count. He tried different places, a bed of leaves under a fern, the space between two rocks, the fork of a crooked willow, but none of them fit. None of them were his tree. See how sad my Olwyn looks? And with each passing day, a voice inside him grew louder. Without your tree, what are you? Just an old bird with nothing to offer. You couldn't even save your own home. Why would anyone ask for your advice now? He didn't answer the voice, he just listened, and slowly he started to believe it. Once Olwyn had perched high and watched over the forest like a guardian. Now he stayed hidden beneath the branches, too heavy with sadness to hoot. He didn't hear the chatter of squirrels asking where he'd gone. He didn't see the fawns walking softly, searching for his glow at night. He didn't notice that the forest missed him. Because when you've lost something that made you feel like you, it's hard to believe anyone else still sees you, especially when you no longer see yourself. Look how sad my poor guy is. The search. It began with a silence. The tallest tree was gone. Its mighty trunk now lays across the forest floor like a sleeping giant. Birds flew over it, confused. Chipmunks paused, unsure which path to take. The forest felt off, and Olwyn was nowhere to be found. I haven't seen him, the storm whispered. I haven't seen him since the storm, whispered Marley the mouse, her whiskers trembling. Neither have I, said Garrick the badger, stretching his head. Not even a hoot. His tree is gone, murmured June the fawn, looking up at the jagged stump. Do you think he was in it? A hush fell over them. Then Willow the wren fluttered down from the canopy. I checked the willow grove, the nest near the river bend. No sign. Clover the squirrel nodded solemnly. I tried the hollow log behind the old oak, just moss and mushrooms. They all turned to look at the stump again. Its base was still raw. The bark peeled back like a wound. It was strange to see it, so quiet, so empty. We should have come sooner, said Junie, her ears drooping. He's always been there for us, Marley said softly. We never even thought he might need someone, too. Garrett gave a gruff sigh. He wouldn't want anyone to worry. That's how he is, always helping, never asking. Well, we're not asking either, Clover said firmly. We're going to find him. They split up, crawling into the trees. Olwyn, are you there, my friend? It's safe now. We miss you. Voices carried through the trees like threads of light, weaving through the branches. They searched the ferns near the ravine, the patch of brambles by the old turtle's pond, even the hollow hill where fireflies danced at dusk. Everywhere they had searched, they found little memories of him. A smooth stone where he once sat with a crying fox, a feather caught on a twig from a night he stayed to watch the stars, a nestling owl's first branch flight Olwyn had cheered from below. He's not just part of the forest, June whispered. He is the forest. And then, just as the sun began to slide behind the treetops, Willow called out, I think I see something. The truth beneath the feathers. Chapter 5. Willow the wren fluttered just above the fir line, her wings beating fast. I saw him, she chirped. I swear I did, near the crooked willow. The animals hurried through the underbrush, hearts thudding like tiny drums. They curled beneath the roots of a twisted tree with a shape they all knew. Feathers grayer than they remembered, shoulders hunched, eyes dull and distant. Olwyn, Clover said gently, inching forward. The old owl blinked slowly. Oh, I didn't expect you all. He tried to stand taller, tuck his wings just right, but the weight of everything pressed too hard. I'm sorry you found me like this, he said. I didn't want anyone to see me, not like this. Junie stepped forward. Like what? Olwyn looked down, like a bird who couldn't save his own home. I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't wise enough. I wasn't. You weren't alone, Marley said softly. There was a pause. I've been scared before, whispered Clover. Last winter, I lost all my acorns. I didn't tell anyone. I just pretended I wasn't hungry. I got stuck in the brambles once, added. I got stuck in the brambles once, Junie added. Didn't want anyone to know I couldn't get out. I didn't always know how to fly, you know? Willa smiled. I just tried until I did. Sometimes I still fall. Garrett grunted. You helped all of us, Olwyn. You held us up when we were low. That tree, it didn't make you wise. You always were, Marley finished. Owen looked around at the small, gentle faces. No one laughed. No one turned away. He took a deep breath, shaky but real. I don't feel very wise now, he admitted. Maybe, said Clover. That's what makes you wiser than ever. And for the first time since the storm, Olwyn smiled. Not the kind that puffed up his feathers, not the kind that stood tall and proud. A small, quiet smile. The kind that said, thank you for seeing me. Rooted Again, Chapter 6. The forest was quiet as Olwyn sat among the leaves. His wings were folded close. His eyes watched the ground. You don't have to do this, he said softly, looking at the animals gathering around him. Don't want to be a burden. Olwyn Clover the squirrel stepped forward. You're not a burden. You're ours. He shook his head, eyes cloudy. I never thought I'd be without a home. Not me. I always thought, I don't know, that I'd be the one others leaned on, that I'd always have answers. Junie the fawn knelt beside him. Sometimes the wind blows harder than our roots can hold. And sometimes, added Willa, the wren, it's not about how strong we are. It's just life, nature, circumstances. Garrick the badger grumbled. No one chooses to lose their home. That's not weakness. It's just misfortune. We're not helping you because we pity you, said Marley the mouse, her voice like a whisper in a warm blanket. We're helping you because we love you. You've been our shelter in stormy seasons, Clover said. Our calm in the chaos. You've listened, guided, stayed steady. Now Junie smiled. It's our turn. Owen looked up, eyes damp but glowing. You really mean it? He asked. Willie fluttered to his shoulder. We're going to get you rooted again. Because you're a part of our forest, said Garrick. Because you're our family, said Marley. And because no one, said Clover, should have to rebuild alone. The New Tree, Chapter 7. So the work began with a single seed. Junie found it tucked beneath a patch of moss near the old stump. She brought it to Olwyn, cradled it in her hoof like a treasure. A beginning, she said. The others gathered materials, soft twigs, smooth stones, feathers, bits of bark. They found a sturdy hill just beyond the meadow where the sun touched first and the stars watched closest. Together, they built a home. Not as tall as the old one, but wide and welcoming. The branches arched like open arms. The walls were woven with care. The floor was soft and mossy and memory. Owen didn't watch from above this time. He helped. He placed each twig with gratitude. He perched beside Clover as she measured branches, laughed when Garrett got stuck in the hollow log, and hummed gently while Willow tucked feathers into the lining of the nest. See how happy they are? When it was done, the forest gathered. The wind was still. The sky blushed gold. Olwyn stood at the edge of his new home, looking out, not down, at the animals who had lifted him up. Thank you, he said, his voice low and full, for seeing me when I couldn't see myself, for reminding me that a home isn't where you perch, it's where you're held. The forest cheered, leaves danced, and somewhere in the canopy the stars blinked their approval. That night, as Olwyn sat once more above the forest, his forest, he didn't just watch over them, he belonged. Because sometimes even the wisest need to be reminded no one is ever truly alone. The ends. So I hope you like that. I just I really wanted to create something special for you, boys and girls. So, a lot of people go through hard times, and we do need each other to get through those times. So, it's very important to be kind and help people and let them know that you love them and be there for them. So, Olwen helped everyone. And when he needed help, he was too afraid to ask because he didn't feel like he had any value. But everyone is valuable and everyone is needed and loved, and everyone deserves to have a home that they value, right? So there's a lot of homelessness in the world today. So I wanted to write a little something and let you know that these people may just be down on their luck, and they might have had misfortune, like our good friend Olwyn. But that doesn't mean that make them different or mean that they need less love than anyone else. So be a good friend, smile when you see them, and help wherever you can. Okay? So thank you so much for joining me on Story Time, and I hope you enjoyed The Owl Without a Treat. I'm Andra Annette. Have a great night.